It's Superhero, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Inspirado Projecto. I'm very excited to present this episodic to you. I have at least, I think, one more of these to upload. These are the Q&As from the Dos Lagos Film Festival that occurred October 21st through October 23rd at the shops at Dos Lagos in the town of Corona. That was 2022. So I've got another one up there. From October 21st. So look that up. That's a really good one with the filmmakers. This one takes place on 10/22, October 22nd, and we have quite a cavalcade of stars. We're going to start out with a Q&A that I'm administering with Xanadu Hellfire. We got some cast and crew from there. A Q&A with that Dave Uchansky hosts with the cast and crew of Run Rabbit. Also, we got a fun fact by Henry D. Horse. We're going to have interviews, a Q&A with Dave Uchansky and what we called the Mulholland Block. And that contained movies of The Package, Stoop Kid Trailer, Playboy Eddie, Unobtrusive, Madcap Motel, and Ivy League Crime Lords. So we're going to have cast and crew Q&As there. And also a Q&A with me and Dwayne from Dental Plan. So, can't wait to play that for you. Also, Robert Broski from Twin Peaks, he's the woodsman. He stops by to say hello. And if you have Spotify, you'll be able to hear a song that I attached on here by a band called Wishing to Float, called I Can't Believe It, But Of Course I Can. It's a band called Wishing to Float. You'll find them out there on Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, iTunes, Spotify. They're all over the place. But I'm trying out this new feature here on now that Spotify owns Anchor. They will let you attach a Spotify song on there. So thought I'd give that a try. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me a call. This is the toll-free phone number, 561-203-9179. Call it up, leave a voice message, 561-203-9179. We cannot wait to hear from you. And thanks for listening to Inspirado Projecto. So, what is your first name, and what were all of your duties that you did for this movie? I noticed you had a little guest appearance in there.
Oh, yeah. So, my name's Justin.
Yeah.
I wrote it, paid for it, directed it, acted in it, did wardrobe, editing, and some props, a lot of the props. I think that's it. I think.
Incredible. How long did it take for you to shoot that?
15 days.
Yeah, that's it?
That's it.
It's incredible. Did you use 2 cameras or 1?
We used 2 cameras on certain days, yeah.
That's always helpful. I think, like, if more movies, if they use 2 cameras, it would help them out with editing a lot, right? Did you notice that with you?
Yeah, we were lucky. It made it cut our time down, which was really good. We had a really cool, our, second camera up there, filmmakers, so, Randy here, who shot the movie, edited. He did all the effects by himself.
Wow, man. Cool effects, man.
Thank you.
Cool effects.
And, it really helps because we're all, filmmakers. And we just all help each other, and, yeah, it definitely makes it go better.
You know, at Dos Lagos so far, the people that I've met, they've just seem to have found this great tribe of people.
Yeah.
And, who are good at what they're doing, and they just form this really great ensemble. I thought that the cast was really good in the ways that they, interacted with each other. And were there some special directions that you'd give them that would tighten the rapport between them?
So I rarely give anybody any notes because I want to see what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So it's just an adjustment of, even the kids, like I just let them roll, and they were so excited to cuss. It wasn't even funny.
I bet.
Yeah. Here's a good way, like if you're casting kids and you want to know if the kids and the parents are cool, put cussing in the audition, and if they do it, they're really cool people.
Yeah.
And these are two of the most amazing people I've ever met, is these three kids, all these kids.
I'm gonna get to you guys in a second. So I'm recording this for my podcast. It's called Inspirado Projecto. So all the Q&As that I've done so far will go up there, and I'll let you guys know. We'll put it on the Facebook page and everything. And what is your name?
I'm Aria.
I love it. Great job in there.
Thank you.
Great job. So did you have to learn how to do a little stick fighting there?
I already knew how to do some
What?
of it. So,
How'd you know how to do that?
Well, I do dance, so I do a lot of kicks and yeah.
That's good. Your cartwheels were really cool. I could tell you had some gymnastics lessons.
Thank you.
That was good. How long have you been acting for?
I've been acting since I was 4.
Very cool. It's only going to keep evolving this way, especially if you align yourself with a crew like this, right?
Yeah.
It's always important to find people who are encouraging towards your hopes and dreams, right? Mm-hmm. How about your family?
My mom used to be an actor, and I have a 2-year-old sister. She's in the audience, and my grandpa was the one taking me to set, so.
Incredible. This is great. Maybe someday you could do a family movie together, huh? Mm-hmm. So, and you did a fantastic job helping them at the end. You come right in there, you swoop in, and you help everybody out. Now, did you learn some stick fighting as well while you're on set?
I actually already knew stick fighting, too. Because
Incredible.
I do a martial art where that's required. It's called Kung Fu.
You do Kung Fu? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is good. I used to love watching the Kung Fu movies growing up. I loved it.
I haven't watched them.
You gotta watch them. They used to have something called Samurai Sunday, and I loved it. It was like a dance. These go with the sticks and everything. You gotta watch some of those. Talk to your parents about that. How long have you been acting?
A short while.
A short while.
Maybe 3 or 4 years.
Now, how many?
3, I think.
Was this your first movie?
Yeah, yes.
This is your first one?
Yes, it was.
And was this your first time seeing you up on the big screen?
I do think in a movie theater, yes.
Is that cool or what?
It is.
Yes. And you said you saw yourself in a movie before, right?
It was this movie, just a different screening.
Oh,
but
this is what
I've
you were talking about
seen
before. We
myself-
had to piece it together, right?
Yeah, we did another screening, and then Chloe lives in Las Vegas, and she had her own screening 3 weeks ago. So we sold out one screening, and then we did 2 in one day.
Wait, okay, so hold on. You live in a whole different state.
Oh, yeah.
How did you all get together how did that work? How did this all work? Did you shoot in Las Vegas, or how did that work?
So I had no idea they were from Las Vegas, and I found out right before we were shooting. And I remember Chloe's mom, Nicole, who's amazing, said, "Oh, we're from Las Vegas, and we're gonna." I had them shooting one day and then 5 days of doing nothing. And that's how she got in the movie more, because she's like, we're going to be here for 5 days. And I can't have her just sit around for 5 days. So that's how she's in most of the movie.
Very cool.
So it doubled her part.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How cool is that? Right. What a great surprise that must have been, huh?
Yeah. I was very excited. I'm like, oh, I have more lines and more lines and more lines. Oh, wow.
It just shows you what's possible, right? You never know what kind of surprises are hiding around the corner.
And my favorite part was cursing all through
I
it.
bet it was. I feel the same way as you. When I first heard Hall & Oates' song, Rich Girl, on the radio, I was like, oh, I get to say the word bitch. It was really cool in front of my mom. So what, now oh, geez, I'm so sorry. You did a great job in the movie. Did you know these girls before you got a chance to act with them?
You mean yeah, I guess I did.
You knew, did you
Wait, no.
Did you all meet each other during the auditions, or how did that work?
No. The auditions, I believe, were self-tapes.
Yeah, they were self-tapes, and
So we just met before we started filming.
Well, I think you all had a great rapport. Do you know what I mean when I say that? A great connection. You have a great connection between you all, as if you actually did go to school together. I could tell you all were very committed to your parts.
thank you.
There's authenticity in what you did. I want you to remember that.
Thank you.
It's hugely important. That's why you got those Dustin Hoffmans of the world, The Graduate. Maybe you're a little young for that one. So what was your part in the movie?
Hi. Oh, I actually played the Green Witch. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm the one in the big green cape.
Oh my God,
So.
that's fantastic. So did you know how to do some martial arts and stick fighting and all that before this?
No, actually, I'm very impressed by these youngins because I don't know any of that. I'm a cosplayer and a LARPer.
That's great. So that was perfect for you, right? You're used to dressing up in costumes. You're like, oh, this is I do this.
Yeah.
I wake up, dressed as Supergirl in the morning. This is no problem, right?
I love to dress as Wonder Woman and do all that nonsense.
I love it.
I don't know anything about acting. I'm just a friend of Justin's, and he's done such a great job and been so gracious as to
Whoa.
let me be part of his projects.
I love it.
Most
I
of
love
her
it.
costume she brought was her own stuff. I
Really?
only gave her the cape.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's been so wonderful in letting me design parts of the costume and bring a little bit of my Native American ancestry actually into the character.
I
which
love
has
it.
been fun.
So would you suggest to other filmmakers maybe it's a good idea to hire more cosplayers for their movies?
Sure. I mean, we're kind of all in one. We do our makeup, we do our costume. I guess we're very economical.
I would say. Right? You're your own wardrobe department.
Yeah, I
right?
guess.
Here's my closet. Here's my 43, costumes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. And I guess originally they were supposed to kill off my character, but we just kind of got a little carried away.
She's
Yet another surprise. How cool
one
is
of
that?
the coolest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, she did something so nice. After the first day of shooting, I tried to pay her, and she said, "Can you give my pay to Macy, who played Xanadu?"
Oh, you weren't supposed to bring that up.
Sorry, I forgot, but you're so amazing that you did that. Like, but that just shows me who you are. I forgot that I shouldn't have said, but sorry about that. But that just shows me.
It shows
what
your heart, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we just couldn't, and it was so cool, the visual. I mean, when we were shooting it the whole time, like, you could hear Randy on the camera moving toward, like, this is so cool, this is so cool. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, this is so cool. So
I love
that's
it.
why we couldn't kill off. And if we do a part 2, she'll be a very, very big part of it. So.
Gosh, that is so cool, man. You never know how it's going to evolve, right? So
Yeah.
you did all these special effects. How long have you been doing special effects?
For about 7 or 8 years, I've been doing cinematography and visual effects and stuff like that, and it's evolved over the course of many movies that we've made together over the years.
How many movies would you say you guys made?
Well, this is the third feature that Justin has done that I've
Cool.
collaborated with, and I've done some effects work in all of them. But every one that we do, we kind of step it up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And this one was kind of. There was a lot written around the special effects for it. So, and a lot of it we weren't sure if we were going to be able to pull off. But it's like, okay, we'll get in post and we'll see what we can do. But some of the best stuff that happened on set during production was the work of Mother Nature. For example, some of the stuff Justin was referring to, the really cool shots we got out in the desert. We brought this big industrial-sized leaf blower, a battery-powered leaf blower, so we can get the wind effects. But halfway through the day, the wind kicked up and blew away our base camp, and it was
Oh my
it was
gosh.
gnarly. It was almost impossible working conditions, but it looked absolutely amazing.
Right.
And we didn't need to use the leaf blower anymore after that. And that's when everybody's just watching the monitor going, "Oh my God, this is so amazing."
Mother Nature's like, I'm going to help out. I'm going to contribute,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So then it's like, okay, well, we have to kind of do the effects to match the majesty that Mother Nature provided us with. So we just kind of did our best with it. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I love it. Now, you did a fantastic job with, now did you shave your head or was that a wig or what? That was a
I've shaved my
phenomenal
head now.
haircut.
I mean, it is mine, but I bought it. Yeah,
It was brilliant. I'm like, hey, he's fitting it all under the hat. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, no, not anymore.
You did a great job, man. It was so funny. Would you like to see that? There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Hold on, let everyone see that.
It is there.
Suck
Oh my
his
God.
badass burgers, baby.
You know what? I had no idea.
I love it. He's like, and I just so happen to have a cheeseburger in my pocket. So now, wouldn't that be? Now, would you like to see one of these out there in the world?
I do see one of these out in the world.
Right?
Yes,
I think it'd be oh, do you own one?
No.
Oh my God.
The
So
shirt?
these were just made for the movie then.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. It reminds me of like one of those Quentin Tarantino, like the Big Kahuna burger, or like and you're like, dude, why don't we see these out there in the world? Hey, I think it's it's bound to happen. Yeah. I could totally. Yes. Tell me more.
I have one of the shirts,
You
and
do?
I wear it as pajamas.
You do?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Do people ask you like, hey, where can I go to get burgers at that
It's
place?
not like I walk around in my pajamas.
That's true. Some people do these days. So
I
how
do
long
walk
you
around
been
in my
at?
pajamas like this.
There it
I
is.
got the whole thing made of it.
Yeah.
Everything. I was actually so excited that they were making a burger joint.
Yeah.
And like when I actually showed up on set and they turned the place into this place, I was like, wow. I mean,
That must have been cool.
Like you said, we've done some movies together, and like they went all out in this one. The first two that he did, I mean, we did our thing, but this one they went all out. Yeah, thanks a lot. for going on this one and not the first two, but that's okay.
And to clarify, the first two,
Yeah.
the first two are Bloodsucker Jones films. They are centered around Mr. Bloodsucker Jones.
Oh, great.
So
Okay, but no, his films, their films, they just get better and better. And I mean, more and more people want to work with them, and it's just because of the, it's fun on the set.
I was going to say, it sounds very
The movies are all
enthusiastic.
fun.
Like
Yeah,
everyone's
I mean,
uplifting each other.
Yeah, and so we get a lot of people that want to return to help out and film and everything. And I mean, I kept my pay. I wasn't going to give it away and everything. So but I mean, I totally would if I were actually getting paid. I don't want to get paid. No.
I don't want to get it.
T-shirt. What are you talking about?
I did. I got the T-shirt, and so yeah, that's why I wasn't giving it away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wait,
but
there are two prequels to this?
you know what? You stay out of this, sir.
I love it.
But
2
yeah.
prequels. Yeah?
We're
To
in
this
we're,
movie.
We're in the same universe. No.
Yeah, Bloodsucker
I always-
Jones, and Bloodsucker Jones
I love-
versus the Creeping Death.
I love when directors do that and they put stuff in the same universe. So what gave you that part of me? What gave you that idea to put them in the same universe?
Just because I wanted to work with this guy again.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we can only get him for one day. He's really busy. This guy's got 3 kids and a beautiful daughter that was just born. And we decided to we saw on Gigster, we saw this restaurant and we're like, we needed a restaurant, and then it just dawned on us one day we got to make it his restaurant. So
I love it. It's cool too because now you can weave. You can always have like those little commercials hanging out in the other universes.
Oh yeah,
It's just like that little wink, and it's like we know what that's from, right?
People love it. As soon as they see him, they laugh.
It's brilliant. The commercials within the movie were hilarious.
Oh, thanks.
All those commercials were great.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, those were shot in Australia. My friend Jason, he's a filmmaker, and he shot them in Sydney, Australia, and sent
Cool.
them to us. Yeah.
Gosh, man. Isn't that crazy, like how things have evolved through the years with filmmaking? You can just go, all right, let's go online, film the scene, send it off to me.
Yeah.
We got the editing going on. Man, so you did you say you did the editing as well or no?
So Randy was so excited about the movie. He had the hard drives, and he would sync the sound so I could edit, but he's just started editing. He goes, I'm sorry, man, I just like it. It was so fun. I just started editing. I said, okay, I'll start at the end. You start at the beginning, right?
yeah, I did
Brilliant.
the end, and he started at the beginning. We edited our way to the middle, and then we found ourselves 3 weeks later with a full cut of the movie.
Incredible.
Yeah, he
The
sent me a
fact that you
scene.
just let him just run with his enthusiasm
Yeah.
says a lot about you.
Well, he sent me a scene, and he goes, hey, check this out. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool scene. I just did that scene. I guess we're done. So
I love it.
we happened to just edit the same scene on the same day.
No
practically.
way.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
was the middle that we met at. Imagine the scene in Lady and the Tramp where they're eating the spaghetti.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the middle of the movie, is that spaghetti, right? With no actual
Brilliant.
kissing. But,
Brilliant.
yeah, but that's how we met in the center.
Wait, what's your question, sir? What's your question?
I'd like to see Randy and Justin do the Lady and the Tramp scene right now.
Dramatic recreation.
We need the spaghetti.
By the way, the theme song for Xanadu Hellfire was done by that same guy who asked.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. That was a good theme song.
Music teacher. He didn't come down, but he's also
He's also a music teacher in the
Oh,
movie.
cool,
Yeah.
man.
Ben-
Yes.
Ben's-
The avant-garde
yeah.
music teacher. That was great.
Benji Phonics, so if you want to
Cool.
find him online, he's amazing.
Is that Phonics? Benji Phonics?
It's BNJIPHONIK.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I'm a big vocabulist, so I like to hear the
Yeah.
spellings and things. If you were to be in if you were to imagine a type of movie you'd like to be in or a kind of role, what would that be?
This one.
This one. Perfect answer. I love it. How about you? In addition to this one, of course, we're not going to say that too because it's such a good movie, right?
Yeah, maybe in like a movie like Cinderella or something.
That's good. That's good. What kind of movie would you like to be in, ideally?
In like the alien movies.
Ooh, you want to be chased around by aliens and stuff?
No, be the alien.
Oh, you want to be the alien? Oh my gosh. Move over, Doug Jones. We got a new creature guy coming through. Wouldn't that be cool if you got cast in all these crazy things where you're wearing prosthetics on your face? Yeah, right? You got horns, and that would be cool, man.
Yeah.
That would be fun. You might find that in your future sooner than later. You never know what he's going to write next, right? So what kind of movie would you ideally like to be in?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe something like a princess movie like she had mentioned. Something with a mermaid would be kind of fun, but I'm actually really looking forward to the sequel to this one. The
Yes,
Witches of the
yes.
Wasteland sounds
Yes.
awesome. when I heard the title of that, I'm like, man, that sounds dope.
Oh yeah. So do you have some of that script going on?
Yeah, we started writing it.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Do you just have that one next one, or do you have a whole series of
That's not a
chapters in your brain?
We met last night. We're making an anthology horror movie.
Cool.
Next. And then we have a bunch of movies we want to make. This one, I'm so broke that I don't know if I'll ever make another movie, but I would like to make it sometime, yeah. But I started writing it just for fun, and all these fools are in it too.
So you're looking for a distributor?
Yeah, we might distribute ourselves. I mean, a lot of distributors, the stories of getting money out of them is really rough. So yeah, we're really.
Fool.
Speaking of, so look at her. She's wearing the necklace. So both these.
Oh, cool.
Both of these kids ran. I just heard them screaming, like running on set, and they came up to me and they said, "Xanadu told me you have extra necklaces, and we want necklaces, and we want the money out of the swear jar, and we want the comic books." I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, if you leave me alone, can I'll give that to you. Now go away.
They just come up with a list of things.
Yeah, so they got it. So she's wearing
love
Xanadu.
it.
I gave her Xanadu, or Aria actually has Xanadu's actual necklace from the movie, and then that one was one of the goons' necklaces.
Incredible. Do you like stand outside and like you just try to concentrate and like let's bring that cloud,
Let's
make that cloud
see if I
disappear.
can do it on Justin.
Oh boy, watch out. Starts levitating. Oh my God. Well, you guys think
We'll never get another movie.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
We'll just do it to Mr.
Uh-oh, watch out. Watch out. Whoa, yeah. He turns into a cheeseburger, right? All right, you guys, thanks so much for coming out. Thank you all for your Q&As, and I'll let you know when this goes up. And yeah, we have a little break. We got a little break, and then we got the next block coming up. You guys did such a great job.
Thanks for coming.
What a great cast and crew Xanadu Hellfire is, huh? We got a chance to hear from Justin Armayo, Randy Van Dyke, Aria Surik, Ariana America, Chloe Sleegar, Preston Gant, and Benji Phonic. Now, we have a Q&A with Justin Rose and Christopher Studenka from Run Rabbit. So, get ready.
Your idea, how did it come about the film? The idea from how did you come with the idea? I guess is the first question.
So
Short version.
a short version. Okay. So I came upon a documentary a while back on Netflix called The Keepers, and it was dealing with corruption in a Boston Catholic.
Was it Baltimore?
Or was it Baltimore?
Baltimore.
I think I've heard about this.
Yeah, it was Baltimore yeah, I think it was Baltimore. And it dealt with a corruption, a Catholic schoolgirl school where the priests and the cops were involved. And everyone got away with it pretty much.
Oh, wow.
And so it went on for many years. And so what would happen was the church would just move everyone around to avoid all the cops. And it turns out the cops were involved. And so it just became this whole like deal, and it was basically like no justice was served, and so that's where I kind of got the idea. I was like, well, what if I do something around that, but someone just starts killing them, like same concept, but let's just throw someone in there that's actually just going to cause trouble and just make it a whole problem for them.
That's cool.
So,
How do you guys know each other?
a while.
Justin was making a short film about 3 years ago. 2 or 3
It was
years?
about 3 years ago.
3 years ago, he was making a short film and hired me as an actor for that
Oh, wow,
film.
wow.
But it was his first one out of film school, and he sort of let me run with all of the non-creative side of it. And so we put it in festivals, and we won a bunch of awards early on, and then the pandemic hit, and all festivals were shut down.
That's right.
And we moved on and made another short film prior to this. It played all over, but that's how we met. He just hired me as an actor, but we learned that we had a pretty good synergy of working as a team.
A bromance developed.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Absolutely
Good,
true.
Good.
So, actually, I'm completely honest. I met him and he came and saw a film that I was in that I'm really proud of.
What's in the film?
It's a short film called Nita.
Yeah.
And he saw it and was like, wow, that was great. I saw the talent in him immediately. He's a creative and film genius, and I hitched my wagon to him from that point on. And that's the absolute truth.
Sweet.
It was an interesting,
And he doesn't like
come
doing
up.
any of the stuff I do, the casting
Yeah.
and the production. He hates that, so we really are a good team.
But so the first short film we did, I was trying to work on it prior, but doing something local like that, people fall through. Actors didn't show up, and so, I felt like all was lost. But I took a chance, and it was Craigslist, right?
It was some website.
Yeah, it was like a website.
An actor's website.
Yeah,
something
right away, and we met.
And that's how we met.
I had really because I dropped out of college. I hated film school, to be honest, and I just wasn't learning anything. But I wanted to do my own thing,
right?
And so I met him, and we talked, and I was like, look, I don't really have much, but I showed him my photography and everything, the little things I've done over time, and so he was like, all right, and then he told me about this little what was it film festival.
Which one? Oh, where Anita was playing?
Anita, yeah.
Oh, at the...
it was a showcase.
Film bar.
Yeah, it was like a showcase.
Right.
He invited me, and I showed up, and I went, saw all the films. I saw his. I was like, wow, this is great.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah, I totally want you on board. Let's make something.
Right.
And I saw what everyone else was doing, so I was like, let's do something different. Let's actually go for something bigger.
Yeah.
Let's do something new.
So you had 2 shorts, right?
Yes.
And so this is your first feature.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
How was it going from short, because that's a leap of faith, going from short to feature? How did that happen?
Easy.
Yeah, it felt pretty easy. It kind of felt pretty easy, kind of.
Okay.
No, first let me say, the gentleman that plays the madman, the vigilante, his name's Greg Wave. Greg's an actor, obviously. He and I had known each other and worked on a couple of projects together. And then when I met Justin, the 3 of us got together. So the 3 of us made the film.
Oh, wow.
He was just as involved as the 2 of us. He's in South Carolina. But the 3 of us made it. And so there was a three-man team. He and I were actors. Then I met Justin, and I introduced him to Greg. And he wrote the original first act of the film with Greg in mind. He had met him. He hadn't worked with him, but he had met him. He said, yeah, he'd be perfect, and wrote with Greg in mind.
Yeah,
so,
Greg came and saw my first
he saw
short.
Red Velvet.
Yeah, and he came and we talked, and I was like, I like what you're doing, and he asked me, he's like, next time you're doing a project, can we let's do something. I'm like, all right. And so when I started writing, I had him in mind because I wanted someone that was kind of young but not old, it just he was a skinny guy. I wanted him to look kind of like scrawny and bit. I wanted this character to be kind of just beat up and just out of mind.
Wow. And
so, and I just had Greg in mind and got him on board, and we all worked together.
Obviously, Chris in mind for the other role.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Wow. Now, your writing was...
Probably not. Yeah, he's all I could get.
So you probably auditioned a lot of people, and you say, since everybody else kind of sucks, I'll go with you. Go your buddy.
Something like that.
The writing was so tense and so rich in dialogue.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So when you were writing, because a lot of times when writers write something and they got to film it, it's like, well, how do I make this appear on film? How did you do that process?
Well, so if no one else knows, I'm a fan of Tarantino. I'm a Tarantino fan.
Yeah. We got that.
But I guess when you watch it, the scenes are very limited, and the way I kind of wrote it and the way I envisioned it was almost like a play. And so when I'm shooting everything, and I really want the characters to really engage with each other. I want to feel that chemistry, and that's why Chris came was great with casting, because the people he picked were just they meshed so well together, and so it was great. And sometimes I just let the camera roll, and I just let them there's even some parts where they're just they just kind of go off script a bit, and they just
right.
A lot of the last scene with Father Bradley and I in the house is not in the script.
Wow, with the gun?
Wow.
We
we recorded all of it with the words, and then we just went, and a lot of what he kept was just improv in the moment.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like I said, it was like when I'm watching a film, I really want to get into the characters. I want to understand their motivations, their tics, and and that's the thing what I love about writing, just because you write their dialogue, but you also want to kind of just feel everything too.
Right.
And the way I see it, I see it like I'm in the room with them and I'm observing and I'm watching, because the subject's very heavy, and so it was like different angles on how I was going to write it, and how I was going to go about it, and yeah, so I appreciate seeing the dialogue
for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, Tarantino, I could tell the influence for sure. So how was the production about? How did you go from? So you're pretty much the casting guy. You do all the production part, and you're more creative. So
yes.
How that process go? How long did it take to shoot? Where did you guys shoot that type of thing?
Yeah, well, it was all filmed in Arizona, Flagstaff, primarily Phoenix, Flagstaff, and Tucson. And Greg and I, being actors, we knew a lot of other actors, and we went through every agency that we could think of, and we looked, and we had a hard time with some parts. It's very hard to convince a parent to let their child play the pedophile child.
Mm-hmm. Really?
So we struggled with that. And also, we struggled with a couple other roles, and we refused to compromise. So the very first act is obviously just the vigilante and the first priest. It's a two-person act, and we filmed that in March. But we weren't fully cast, and we weren't happy with the rest of the people we had. And in a lot of productions, if it's a short film or any film, if you're on a time limit, you just cast it and go. We refused to do that. We waited till we could get the people we wanted. And the problem being, we did that, and we started filming June, July, and August in Phoenix. So if you can put one and one together, what that means, when we were out in the desert in those scenes, it literally was 115 degrees. And we were trying to film in March and April when the weather's a little more, but we refused to compromise on cast, and it was more than worth it. But I also think what works best for us is we have a complete trust in each other. He trusts everything I'm doing on my side. I trust everything he's doing on his side. It doesn't mean that we don't make suggestions. He always says no to mine, but we still make them. But we have full trust in each other, and that, I think, is the real key. You have to have that trust. That he doesn't know as many actors. I've acted for a lot longer, and I don't know anything he's doing on that side.
Right.
So you have to have that implicit trust, which we do.
Right.
I think that manifests itself on the screen in all ways, and I think that made the big difference. We didn't compromise on cast. We waited until we got the right people, and then so we shot the very first scenes in March, in a weekend. But then we didn't go until June. We went June, July, August, and then did some pickups and some piecemeal shots after that. But primarily it was done by August, and we probably shot 25 days total.
Yeah, I felt. Yeah.
But some days it was one scene, but the setup and the location and everything else still takes you virtually the same amount of time. But so that's a day. So there's a scene where he's. It's a flashback scene, and we see Mario Loco and Oscar shooting that guy in the Broad Valley, and he's pointing the gun at the camera.
That's right off a highway in Arizona.
That wasn't in it. After he had put the movie together, he said, "I think we need this." Well, okay, that's great, but now we had to get like 5 people, 5 cast members, and he said, "I have this perfect spot." Yeah, it's 100 miles away, so we had to get all 5 people, drive up to Sunset Point in Arizona, and film what's 5 seconds on camera. It adds tremendous depth to that moment in time, but that took a whole day for 5 people to corral them all, to get Oscar, to get Mario, myself, and Greg, and Justin, and the guy that got shot. I don't even remember his name. So, and take all day, because it was like an hour and a half to drive up there. We filmed for like half an hour and then drive back. So that's a day, though. But we had, during that June, July, August, we had heavy days, and there was probably...
And it wasn't brutally hot. That's the plus.
Yeah, it was probably 20 days total in the hard part of it.
Okay. So. Usually during a film production, there's a lot of things that happen. Some are funny, some are strange, some are horrible.
Keep in mind the subject matter. We had some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell one. Somebody else had a really good anecdote, too, the last time we... I'll say one anecdote. Obviously, we're dealing with pedophilia, which is a horrible, horrible thing. And the little kid, Isaac, who's already signed with a big agency based off our movie, which is great. He's already done national commercials and everything.
Yeah.
So we take full credit for that. But we wanted other kids for that gross scene where the kids are lined up and the priest pick them, right? Well, Isaac, his mom, is his manager, and she has twin sons. So I said, oh, would you be willing to let us use your sons in a scene? And she's like, sure. Which, miraculously, she had no problem with. And now she's like, did I really do that?
No.
But we got to know her and her husband and everything.
Wonderful,
anyway,
wonderful.
I said, we're filming them, and here's what's going to happen. There was never any. We're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. All the kids that we interviewed and auditioned, we let everyone read the full script. And anyways, so she said, all right, we'll bring those kids to where we were shooting that day. I said, have them just like wear pajamas, because they're going to pick them like they're at sleepaway camp. She goes, great. So the kids show up. They show up. This is disturbing, but the kid's pajamas said "Ready for Action."
Oh no!
It was like cars and little kids scene, but it said "Ready for Action."
Well, one of the guys playing the priest, he lifts his mask. He's like, "Did you see his shirt?"
I mean, it's funny disturbing. I mean, because obviously nothing happened, but it was
weirdly wow.
Yeah, it was like I almost wanted to say, did you not notice what you brought for your kid to wear? He's like 5. He doesn't know.
But yeah, it's a very hard, it's a very disturbing scene, and I
remember it now. It was Jack. So the priests are lined up, and we told the kids, all right, one's going to come and pick you, and one's going to pick you, and just go with them. And that's it, And they do that, and the Ready for Action kid, one of the priests picks him and goes off to the side, and Jessica goes, all right, great, cut. And the kid turns to the guy's name, Jackie. It's Jackie. Wow, you're great at taking kids away.
Yeah.
It was twisted humor you have to have. That was also in the middle of summer. We were in a garage because we wanted a certain look. It was about 150 degrees in that garage, and in a robe that is like this thick and.
Yeah, but dealing with
we
that,
would readjust that if we could.
Dealing with that subject matter, though, it's pretty intense. And,
very intense. You have to be judicious and treat it respectfully.
But when I was writing it, I really wanted people to hate these characters. That was like the whole purpose, and so, I really wanted that payoff at the end to really just be like, because we all hate those kinds of people. Like, come on. But I really wanted it to be just like, oh yeah, let's do it right now.
Right.
And that's why I tend to I really love Mario's character because he comes off in the beginning as this brutal, unhinged gangster, and you're like, who is this guy? And then towards the end, you're like, oh yeah, that's the kind of guy we want for this moment to kill everyone else off.
Hey, where would you come with the idea of the chainsaw?
So.
Huh? Please tell that story.
Well, the whole inspiration for that?
Yeah,
okay.
I was inspired. It was beautiful.
I love Casino. One of my favorite films is Casino, with Scorsese. And so one of the greatest scenes, I think, is where, they're taking care of the cheaters justice, and they find them cheating in blackjack, and they take them in the back, and he has the saw, he has the guy's hand, and he's about to saw his hand off until they just smash it with a hammer. And I was like, oh, that's a great scene. That's a funny scene. And so for some reason, I just threw it in there.
I love it.
It was a couple other things. We thought about an axe. Wasn't there an axe at first?
I don't remember.
But here's the funny thing. So we're out in the raw desert filming that scene. And we had the table saw from the first scene. And we put that in the car. And the desert's way off from where we live. And Justin's like, oh, nuts. We wanted to use a chainsaw for this final scene.
He actually said nuts.
Sure. And we wanted to use a chainsaw, and we don't have it, and it had to be like an hour to drive back, to pick it up, to come back.
No, we had the chainsaw.
No, remember? And Ernest his actual car, he goes, oh, I got one in the back of my car. You have a chainsaw in the back? Yeah. So that was his chainsaw.
No, it was the handsaw.
The handsaw was yours.
Yeah, we had the wire. And then we were like, well, this is not going to work. And that's when he was like...
But he had that chainsaw in his car.
No, I had the chainsaw because of my friend had it.
Either way, someone had it in their car.
Randomly had a chainsaw. However the story went.
Crazy. In the middle of the desert, you guys had a chainsaw. In the middle of the desert. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was the exact same one in the beginning. And so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was just kind of funny he had it in the back of the car, the exact same one, same color and everything.
So what's your plans for the movie? You're on the obviously the festival circuit. Is that?
It's been great. We finished the movie in late April, April 29th to be exact. And we started submitting at that point. We've played in probably 30 festivals so far, all over the world, all over in Prague and Toronto, and we won Best Feature in any number of them. We were in Hollywood last week, and we're in Las Vegas next week. And then for us, what's exciting is Kevin Smith is having his very first festival in New Jersey in December. He selected all the films himself. He selected ours, so we're basically the closing film of his entire...
Film. Awesome.
So that's coming up in December. So it's been fun. It's been exciting. I think the great thing that I take out of this is, first off, Justin is a real genius, but the three of us were naive, stupid, silly, confident, whatever you want to put, to think that we could make a feature film, the three of us, with no money, and make a good one. And we not only made the film, we've seen the success because it's played well in Orlando and Tucson and Prague and Toronto, cities that aren't correlated. Does it play well in Arizona? Maybe, but because we're from there, but it's played well everywhere. So to us, I mean, we're still sort of amazed that that's what we hoped, don't get me wrong, but we did it. It goes to his creative genius from his script, but we were able to execute it, and that's been the fun. We're just really in the middle of it.
But I've seen a lot of projects in Arizona, and a lot don't really come out, and so it was really taking a risk for sure. And
you have to though.
Yeah, and so it was we're dedicated to the story, and I praise all the actors and everyone involved, and they all took a risk.
They all took a risk. Most of them did me a favor. I asked them personally, but all of them to a person, and this is the truth. We're very lucky. All of them to a person. Read the script, loved it enough that they would be willing to take that risk. Some of them came from LA to film and all over. Wow. Came to Arizona, but every single one of them, and a lot of them have done lots of stuff. Every single one of them has said it's the best thing they've ever worked on.
Right.
From a production so we're proud that we did that. It made it a great experience for everybody, because as an actor, I've been on a million projects. Half of them never get done. Half of them do get done and are terrible. Some of them you never hear from again.
You said half and half already, so that's 100%.
That's how many. It's a tiny few that actually make it, and then they do something with it. Right. And so we were very adamant from the get-go that everyone we brought on board and told them the plan, and I still send countless emails to everybody that nobody reads, but they're fully informed at all times of what's happening, which as an actor, lots of times I act and I never hear from them again, and I don't know what the hell's going on with it. And I was happy. I thought it was great, it might be good, and then you never hear anything again. And I'm sure there's reasons, but when nobody tells you, it's frustrating. So I over-communicate with everybody. But at the same time, we've had a lot to celebrate and a lot of things happening, and a lot more to go. And we're very thankful that you selected us. We're very happy to be here, and we appreciate that very much. Awesome. We celebrate every festival we're in. We're very happy, and we thank you.
We're so proud to have you guys.
Team.
What's your each of you maybe together next project?
Well, Justin's writing a script right now for the next one. He's in the midst of finishing the script that we will hopefully start in next year.
Nice.
Would you say? Yeah. Maybe not?
Well, we'll see. I tend to take my time with these things.
There's no rush in it where you don't,
I don't know how much, the next one, I'm probably done the first 12 pages already, but we'll see. I know
he'll get going, but the gentleman that plays the main priest plays Father Bradley, bald guy.
Right.
His name's Jeff Kimball. Jeff I knew as an actor, but Jeff's also a director. Has directed a number of feature films.
Wow.
And but he hadn't done a lot of acting in a while because he'd done directing, and I got him as an actor for this because I'd seen him and stuff. And that really inspired him to want to make another movie. So he and I are making another movie while Justin finishes his script. That's not nearly as demented or dark, but
nice.
I'm very proud of that. I say that with pure joy. But a more of a traditional dramatic film. He and I, that'll be similar. Limited people.
Right.
Put everyone in a box, as Justin, I've learned that from him. It's I want it to look like it's in a box, so similar concept. And we inspired Jeff to get going again, because he had, like a lot of filmmakers, he made a lot of stuff and then he sort of got burnt. Because you sort of like hitting your head against the wall constantly.
Sure,
and
it happens.
I'm getting distribution, and then nothing happens. And he was inspired, didn't want to be in it at first. I talked him into it like I did everybody else. And then he got like really into it and reignited his passion to want to make something.
Wow. And
so he and I are making that because we're further along. But everything that Justin does comes first for me forever going forward.
Yeah. Guys, thank you very much for bringing your film here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. Ow! We go participate. We are going to have a little break from the screenings. We're going to go at 5:30. We're going to be at the Stone Church Brewery. We're going to have some little food. Some they got beer, great beer, and we're going to have some trivia. Going to win some bottles of wine. So if you guys want to partake in that, we'd love to have you. So
sweet,
guys. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Here's your fun fact. You pay to have your star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, $30,000 to be precise. Stay tuned to Inspirado Projecto for more fun facts.
Why, thank you, Henry D. Horse, for that extraordinary fun fact. What we have here now is a Q&A with Dave Uchansky during the Mulholland Drive block. And this includes a few movies. So I'm just going to list off to you some of the nice folks we're going to hear from. Melanie Lee Thompson from The Package, Kyle Kreiner from Stoop Kid Video Trailer, Brett Puglisi from Playboy Eddie, Tim Novak from Unobtrusive, Grace Weather from Madcap Motel, and Michael Della Femina from Ivy League Crime Lords. Get ready for an extraordinary ride, and if you are one of these filmmakers, if you are any of these filmmakers that have been featured on this podcast so far and or upcoming, please share this episode with your friends. You know, just share this with them. Let them know you're on the latest episode. And thank you so much for that, for your participation. All right, here we go.
And I did Playboy Eddie.
I'm Tim Novak, and I did Unobtrusive.
I'm Grace Weather, and I directed Madcap Motel.
Michael Della Femina with Ivy League Crime Lords.
You guys know what gumbo is? Gumbo,
Yes.
they make in Louisiana. They put everything in the world in the soup. It really makes it wonderful. So we had a wonderful gumbo of films today, I think. It's great. Let's talk about kind of the idea, where the idea of the film came from, and then how you just, go for it.
Sure. So I'm no filmmaker like the rest of you guys. I'm more of a music guy. I'm a musician, but the visual stuff really kind of engages me. So I really feel like it helps people engage with the music as well. And that's what I really wanted. I had a visual for this story, and I had a good friend of mine named Eugene Nova just come over and handle the camera for me and kind of interpret that for me. And he was the true talent behind the camera there, and he helped me actually put that on screen. And I'm thrilled with how it came out, and I hope it makes people curious about what's behind it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
I literally had the thought, I was just trying to think of ideas, and I was like, well, what if someone was like watching like a porn and all of a sudden it turned into like an actual story. That's kind of where it started, and then kind of started to, think about themes of wanting to connect with somebody but feeling kind of stuck, and just sort of looking for what will kind of get you out of that, and that's where the story came from.
So this is my thesis film, Playboy Eddie. I wanted to make a film about a parent who's overcome drugs, and they choose their family over the drugs, and also it kind of like extends to the daughter and like his influence upon her and the brother as well. Like they had a lot in their past, a lot of conflict between them, But in the end, you know, family matters most. So I just think I wanted to make something really heartwarming and also a bit funny and quirky. It's a little bit of a dark comedy and some fun party stuff in there. So yeah, I'm really happy to screen here. And again, thank you guys for watching.
So my idea kind of came out of frustration. I wanted to make something, but I didn't have a crew. For some reason, I felt like, oh, you got to do it now. So I didn't really ask my family. I just started setting up the camera and filming, and I did that for about a month, and then kind of pieced it together. It's a sort of a meta film about making or creating. And thank you for watching. That was great.
Madcap Motel was birthed during COVID, and we came up with this idea of what would a film look like if we did it completely backwards of how we usually do it. So we entered our space not knowing what the set was going to look like. That was all done behind our back. We also had zero script when we showed up that day. So I started with my characters, which was the lovely Tiffany and my friend Max, and Tiffany has a very specific aesthetic that I've grown to love, and so I really studied her on the internet, and we started there. We started with styling and creating these characters outside of their world, and then kind of shoved them into their world, filmed whatever we got, and then built the script after we filmed. So completely backwards.
Awesome.
Our project came about, we were just basically one of those cocktail napkin ideas that we were just hanging around, and we were just all struggling, and everybody had these pedigree backgrounds, and we were failing miserably, and we're like, okay, what do we do? And we used to hang around the village where there was a lot of a lot of folklore about mobsters, and my friend Johnny, who was in there, knew everything about mobsters. And Vinny the Chin was one of the guys that everybody used to talk about, James, of the Gigante crime family. So we created this fictitious Vinny the Shin, helping us make our show. And, clearly, we failed at that too. So, but it was, it's an ongoing labor of love. We're all friends, so we continue to film whenever we're together, and we just kind of have this madcap, fun little story that we keep telling. And happy to be here and be part of this. This is a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Now, doing independent filmmaking, a lot of times the unexpected happens. Like it happened tonight. Things happen. Something, each of you just maybe touch on something maybe interesting, horrible, funny, or great that happened on your shoot.
The first thing that comes to my mind is extremely mundane, but you guys know you pick up on little mundane things in your shots all the time, and it's for some reason so interesting to you. But the end of my shot where it goes up in the sky, and I tried to make the words look like clouds, like that looked really awesome to me at the end, and it seemed like it would have been common sense. But my initial thought was to just get, when I walk away, have the door of the stoop, like that brown wood, just stay there like that. And then when my buddy Eugene flipped the camera up, when I walked by, I said, that's why that's why you're holding the camera. So, and that was a little small, it was a pleasure to see that little change, and I think it worked better. Yeah, little things. Little things.
Oh my goodness, I feel like one of the stranger things about this shoot was that it actually went pretty smoothly, all things considered. Wow. During the actual shoot, that was my apartment. So, but it was, still last year, so COVID was still more of a factor, and, I was definitely worried about that, but yeah, we kept it to a real skeleton crew, and, I live in a very densely populated neighborhood in LA, so I was very, very lucky that, there weren't any, major interruptions, so I'm grateful for that.
So, fun fact about my movie, the kid who said, when Eddie says, this kid doesn't look 21. That was my brother, my younger brother, and he was not 21. He was not. But something unique about the film, the outdoor scene, the very last scene, when they're walking and the camera's stable, it was very windy, and our audio was like, we did lavalier mics, and it was also kind of like, windy and muffled and stuff, and we actually ADR'd like the entire scene. So I don't know if anyone picked up on if it was ADR or not, but I love how that came out, and I actually think that the performances actually like were heightened in the sound room. So I was actually grateful that we had that mishap, and like we brought him into the sound room and created that whole world and outdoor space, and I think that was really cool. Actually, something that helped the film.
With me, I think when I was first setting up the camera, just around my family, my daughter, who was 2 at the time, loved to touch it and play with it, and I said, oh, that could be a whole other aspect. So I took another camera that I had, and I set that up on a tripod, and that allowed her, to take pictures and to record video. And I was really grateful for that. Not at first when she was touching the lens and everything, but I feel like that's a fun little anecdote. Sweet.
Our first scene of the film that you guys see in the hotel room, where they open the doors to the portal and the whole room fills with the green smoke. Every time we did that, it would take like 20 minutes to reset to get the smoke out of the room. So after 3 takes, I think we thought we got it, and so we moved on, and then we realized the chip in the camera was malfunctioning. Yeah, and we were on like scene 3 or 4 at this point, and so our choices were to, format the chip over and start from the very beginning, or just keep going and hope that it didn't corrupt later. I made the decision to delete everything we had filmed and start over, even on our scrunch time. And so we started over, and so that take you guys see of the doors opening into the portal was a 1 take, and that was all we got because we had to keep going. And that's what ended up in the film, and it's one of my favorite shots of the film.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I guess just the same kind of coincidence and how things kind of happen, and sometimes that creates some of the fun and magic. We were in the restaurant shooting, and Abel Ferrer happened to be involved with that restaurant, which we didn't know, and he actually was editing downstairs his film, and we were all fans of his, so that was all kind of improv. That a lot of this, most of it was scripted, but that particular scene was improv, where he was just hanging around, and he came to the table, and we started talking, and he needed some money to get a taxi to go somewhere. He's wild, crazy guy, genius, and somebody had $100, he gave him $100, he goes, all right, for $100 now you've bought yourself a director. And he actually meant it, so he actually kept working with him, and that was kind of fun and wacky, and it worked, so.
Awesome, wow. Okay, as a filmmaker and artist, you always want to be great. This is great, but what are you doing next? What's next for you?
The next one will be more ambitious and hopefully make you more curious about
it.
Yes.
Yes. That's a very good question. I just finished shooting a feature, not like my feature. I was just acting in it, and then another short like right before that.
Lead act.
So sweet, my friend.
What's the name of the film?
It's called Surprise. We just finished shooting. It's an indie feature, like rom-com, very fun. Literally just finished that last week. So I'm taking a little bit of a breather. Sort of enjoying the Packages Festival run and waiting for inspiration to strike.
Beautiful.
So, immediately, or like in the near future, I want to create a short comedy, also a short horror film. Some stuff that I've thought about, but the film that's screening tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Internal Combat, that's my newest film. I do want to make a feature film off of that. I just think that I would like to do a couple shorts first, something that I can do quicker and have stuff for festival circuits. The feature would take a lot more time, but yeah, a feature film is definitely in the future. I really want to make one, so yeah.
It's going to happen,
definitely
do
will.
it.
Right.
I'm working on another short, which is a little bit more scripted than my last one. But yeah, it's incorporating poetry and then music that I do, and then improvisation. And I just got a gimbal, so I'm kind of learning that and playing with that. It's real fun.
Sweet.
It's real fun.
I've learned as a writer of films, I enjoy writing the story before I put it into script format. So I just finished writing my second book and then turning it into the feature screenplay now. So it's a little bit of a awkward process. But yeah, the book is done now.
Second book.
Second book, yes.
I don't have a first yet, so that's good.
Amazon.
Oh, sweet. Michael.
We continue to work on this. We do new pieces and episodes and such, and for like our YouTube channel that nobody's ever seen. I'm in pre-production on a film series called Martini Confidential, which kind of explores the wacky world of the restaurant business. So those are a couple projects that we're working on.
Awesome, guys. Wow, great films. Thank you so much. Great films, right? Good. Oh my God. Great. We do have another film coming in that was supposed to be. We pushed it a little bit, so there's another feature film playing. Waiting here.
Right in the back.
Right. Okay. This guy came from Canada. He's been here all weekend. So his film's playing. The Dental Plan is playing next. So you guys would like to stay. We're great. But thank you so much.
Now, what an extraordinary group of artisans and geniuses, wouldn't you agree? Next up, we have Wayne Diu from the Dental Plan. Thank you so much, Wayne Diu. Thank you so much, everybody who came out to be a part of Dos Lagos Film Fest. We had such a great time. I will be uploading more, but for now, we're going to listen to, just good old-fashioned using your resources, doing the best you can with what you got type of stuff. This is with Wayne Diu and his movie, Dental Plan. After that, we have a special treat. Stick around. A song by Wishing to Float called I Can't Believe It, But Of Course I Can. And then, of course, the woodsman, Rob Broski of Twin Peaks, is going to send us off. Thanks for listening to Inspirado Projecto. All right, and so would you like to come over here? We're going to do Q&A since everyone's up here. So could you just introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, my name is Wayne Diu. I'm the writer, director, and producer of The Dental Plan. It's my first movie, and it's a very low-budget movie, completely set in a dental office. It's about a dentist and his receptionist who are taken hostage by some crazy guy.
Right.
And we're trying to figure out what the crazy guy has to do with the dentist.
Yeah, the whole time I was wondering who is this guy, what's his motivation, and what's happening here. So you had it was a really interesting twist ending, I'd say.
Cool, thank you very much.
Yeah, I heard earlier these guys were talking about some people try to go about and get funding from dentists. Is that how you got funding for this film, by going to a dentist and saying, hey, how about you're the main character?
So actually what happened was my dad, who's a dentist, was about to retire. So he was going to basically sell the office.
Oh.
So I asked him, could you please give me 30 days? And then I wrote the script in about a week.
Wow.
And I made sure that the script perfectly fit the office so that nothing had to be rebuilt or there doesn't need to be any construction.
Mm-hmm.
And basically from that, I hired a bunch of actors and then we shot the movie.
So within a week, you had all those ideas and it just came rushing to you. I mean, did you already have the twist ending aspect in your brain?
No, it actually came to me when I was writing it. I didn't know how it would end. Yeah, so basically I was, it took about a week, but I didn't have any idea how it would end when I first started writing it.
I mean, that's quite crazy, an entire screenplay in a week.
That's
very, what I'm saying is crazy in the sense of crazy cool, because many people take some very long time to write a screenplay.
Well, basically, pressure is a very good motivation, right? My dad had to sell the office.
Wow. You know what? That's a great piece of advice right there, right? I think when you got a deadline, it really helps you to move things forward faster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he was going to sell the office, and I basically didn't have a lot of time, so we just had to quickly shoot what we could. the good thing is that if something got trashed, he was fine with it because he was selling the office anyway, and the whole building is no longer there, in fact. So that was a good thing.
Wow. That's really cool, man, that you put that all together in 1 week and you had a location and everything, and I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Great job on your first feature film. Do you have any future films you want to work on?
Not at the moment, actually. I left it open so that possibly there could be a sequel, but to be honest, I'm running out of vacation days at work, so nothing for the time being.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming out and
Thanks a lot for selecting.
Yeah,
the film.
thanks so much for submitting your film, man. This is really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, but of course I can. I shall receive it, I won't force the plan. I tried to leave it, but I'm on course again. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I have tripped and stumbled, flipped my script and mumbled, grimaced and I have grumbled, but here I am now humbled. I have slipped and slided, my inner voice divided, but how now can I hide it? And I'm divinely guided. Whoa. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I shall receive it, I won't force the plan. I try to leave it, but I'm on course again. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I've lost my grip and crumbled, unraveled and unbundled, got dizzy and disgruntled. Here I am now humbled, I've gotten too excited, right into walls collided. But how now can I fight it when I'm divinely guided? Whoa. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I shall receive it, I won't force the plan. I try to leave it, but I'm on course again. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I can't believe it, but of course I can. I can't believe it, but of course I can.
This is Robert from Twin Peaks, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Got a light?